runners, I actually watched them when they were not being restreamed. They finished within 2 minutes of each other in both of their races. PinkKittyRose taking game 1, Gemini taking game 2. This is going to be hype, and we're already getting started here. So, what item do you want to see from Uncle?
I'm thinking Blue Cane today. It sounds like a fun, fun thing to have. Yeah, these runners, I haven't really heard much about them since before this tournament, and they consistently surprise me. Like, they're really good.
Okay, we have all the important items in the Light World. We have the Green Pendant at Desert, and our 5-6 are at Hera and Eastern. Both runners doing a map check. As for what I want to see, let's give him the Cane of Samaria.
Well, it's going to be neither. We got the
Fire Rod,
which is it's really nice, honestly. It's a little tricky because you have to be very careful with your magic usage, but I think these runners are going to be good enough to not run out.
Yeah, and oh man, they got a single rupee. That's the best item in the game. No, not really. But yes, folks, if you're new here, let me go and give you a quick rundown on what this is. This is A Link to the Past, the game we all know and love from our SNES days. However, we have done something different. We have changed and shuffled all of the item locations in the game so that it's in a logical order, and our runners have to figure out that order and finish the seed as fast as possible.
Which is a bit easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah.
Other times, the game just sort of gives you everything. Ganon was a little bit depressed that day. He just wanted it to be over with quickly. But some days, he's pretty devious.
And you'll notice, by the way, that we got full magic when we got the Fire Rod. That is part of Randomized Swords, which is the flag we are using for this. Uncle will not give you a sword guaranteed in this setting. He will give you instead a random weapon. And in the case of the Fire Rod, Cane of Samaria, Cane of Burna, the bow, and bombs, he'll give you a full capacity for whatever weapon you have. So in this case, we have Fire Rod, we have full magic, but only 8 shots. It's actually going to be pretty hard to grind bombs as well.
Yeah, so one of the things that's also interesting about that is that if you die or save and quit at certain points during the escape sequence, you will respawn. They're like hidden checkpoints, and you will respawn there with some of your resources replenished.
Yes.
Hopefully these runners won't actually have to encounter that, but it is there if you're having issues. Like if you're new to this randomizer and you're thinking, I'm thinking I could do randomized Uncle Swords standard mode, and you have troubles, just pop a save and quit. Get your stuff back. Oh, the glove.
Very nice.
So, with the glove in hand, that doesn't really get us anything just yet, but it does allow us to sequence break up the mountain.
That's right.
And it also gives us an easier way back into the sewer sequence if these runners don't actually get a bomb drop.
That is correct. And something that actually was removed from the randomizer, you cannot use the glove to escape the rain state. You have to finish escape. We've actually put a guard on the other side of that giant rock outside to prevent you from leaving in the Hyrule Castle area.
Yeah, before that, actually, the logic just never would put a glove like anywhere until you were locked into the escape sequence. But yeah, so about 4 minutes in, both of our runners are about to head into the sewer segment, making pretty good time.
Yes,
both of our...
Go on.
Yeah, both of our runners are actually kind of low on magic. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with it. There are a few pots along the way that they can use to replenish a little bit of it, but they do need to save at least 1 shot for a certain rat in a dark room coming up.
Yeah, a certain rat that I have lovingly dubbed the final boss of the escape sequence. It's no problem with the Fire Rod, but when you have bombs, ugh, that's a nightmare to fight.
Yeah. PinkKittyRose opting to spend a little bit of magic here on the ropes, as well as Gemini. But Gemini gets lucky and actually gets a bomb drop out of it, whereas PinkKittyRose did not.
Yes, that is going to be an advantage to Gemini, although we have yet to see the map, have we not?
Probably not.
Well, Pink will have another couple of shots here just to hit a couple of rats in the final room. Hopefully she gets a on prize back, and if not, it's not going to be a big deal. With the glove, she can come back at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's just going to leave.
That's a little interesting, especially if you have magic left. You might as well use it.
Pink's probably wanting to value that for something else later.
Like Mini Moldarm Cave?
Yeah, Mini Moldarm, maybe. 20, 20, and just 3 bombs, so there's nothing really there. And that means this is the map.
Yep. Now, that doesn't really necessarily mean PinkKittyRose won't be back here. So Gemini is still saving a bit of time on PinkKittyRose.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, she'll route it in with like a graveyard or King's Tomb check. And something we didn't mention about the escape sequence, like you said, there you can take checkpoints and you get magic. You'll actually get a little bit of magic back. That also applies to bombs and arrows. It's basically there as a safety. If you play on easy mode, actually, you actually have infinite, so you don't have to worry about that.
Ah. So you were talking about the King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks check. That's a pretty optimistic view for when we're going to be getting boots. And both of these runners going up towards Lumberjack Cave and finding just a heart container are also kind of optimistic about when they're going to be seeing those boots.
Yeah. Well, at least the heart container means that Aga's not required, at least for right now. We could still need to fight him for Dark Hole access.
Mm-hmm. We also have red rupees here as our bush crab prize, which...
and a single rupee as the rare bush crab prize.
Yeah. I believe it's, what, 6 normal ones and then the rare, and then it just repeats?
Oh, well, we have both rots now. That was fast.
And a glove upgrade. I'm wondering where the game wants us to go. I mean, eventually.
Well, there's another 20 rupees. And Pink is actually not going to go to Kakariko.
Now that's interesting.
This is fairly interesting. She could also get the 50% bomb, but no. Oh, I see it. She's gonna do a south-north play on Kakariko, which this is actually good because she'll buy bombs first and then go north and avoid a little bit of backtracking that way.
Yeah.
She can also get a couple of bombs here along the way.
Yeah, it's nice if you have 0 bombs to do something like this because you remove the possibility of having to run through Kakariko. I'd still probably just go into Kakariko because running here from the house is still kind of slow. But I can see, you know, why it would benefit you.
Yeah, I think she's worried that both these runners are basically respecting the fact that their matches were very close, I think. They want to try to min-max their routing as best as they can so that they can get as much of a time advantage as possible, because they are going to need it. Or at least that's what they think. And
yeah.
In that regard, I don't blame them. Blue Mail for Gemini.
Like you said.
And Moon Pearl for Pink. And Hookshot for Gemini. Wow! We're finding all the items.
So, we are a lamp away from having logical access to the mountain, and I'm wondering if either of these runners are going to sequence break up there very shortly.
Lamp or flute? Flute will also get us up there.
That being said, we could still have one or both of those things in Kakariko.
I'm voting for the flute because it'd just be fast to turn it on. Wow, vanilla much? Alright, what's here at the back of the well? These are nothing major.
Oh, the hammer! That's Dark World access. Do you go into the Dark World right now? 3 hearts, blue mail.
I would actually avoid the Dark World right now, personally. And the reason for that is we still have the entire South Shore. We still have Eastern, which are, again, locations you can check really early on without any progression. Something else could be there that we need. So I would hold out just a little bit longer, maybe even get a little bit of health.
Yeah, the one thing I would want to wait on South Shore for is Zora money. And both of our owners are getting kind of close to it. Gemini spent a little bit of extra time grinding money in the forest. So there's less risk for him going that direction, because if he went all the way out through the South Shore towards the Ice Rock Cave, he would have the prime opportunity to fake flipper up to Zora and get everything along the way.
I actually have not been seeing the Ice Rod play that much. They usually stop at Mini Moldorm Cave.
It's one of those things. I mean, if you're in a game 3 and you're against an opponent that has proven to be very formidable, do you really want to stake your tournament life on Ice Rod Cave not having anything good?
No, but at the same time, I would wait a little bit, because that is quite a bit of slow walking. I would wait until I have something that would make the trip a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Gemini, opting to do the South Shore, will be able to do the dam pretty quickly here with the hook shot.
And Pink is going to Dark World. We already have diversions. Ooh.
I do like this Dark World play.
And there's 50 rupees there in the dam. We'll soon see what's in the flooded item. And we're going to get a Dark World match right here, most likely from Pink. And there it is. Pendant, Skullwoods, Pendant Pod. Everything else is a crystal.
That's interesting, especially considering PinkKittyRose is not opting to visit Skull Woods right away, even just the front side. If there's 2 items in the front side and, you know, it's
there's
pendant.
an item, well, if there's an item I'm off, she can't get it. She doesn't have a sword to cut the curtain, the vines.
Yeah, my typical routing is, the Cane of Samaria here in the chess game.
Wow,
That's,
very nice.
Another piece of the Turtle Rock puzzle. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if it's a pendant Skullwoods, I feel no. Sorry, we get ether here from the very generous guy in Mini Moldorm Cave.
We also got a heart container through heart pieces, but more importantly, though, Gemini found 300 rubies in that cave. He can now do that fake flipper strategy you mentioned.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. Anyway, going back to Skull Woods, the reason I would be okay with going into it right now is just because it's a pendant. And chances are you won't ever have to go back there. It's a pretty safe risk to get to up potentially 2 items.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see Pink... I think this might be a play to check the Dark Overworld, because she can navigate most of it right now. Only a few out-of-the-way spots I think she'll avoid, like Catfish. Just a heart container, Ice Rock Cave. We're going to Digging Game as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Pink is skipping out on Thieves Town just yet, just because we do have relatively quick access back into the Thieves Town area. I mean, we don't have the flute yet to make it super fast, but yeah, I don't disagree with this. 4 hearts and no sword means Thieves Town is no bueno.
Yeah. Gemini's at the 5 now with that heart container in Ice Rock Cave, and is still checking his early locations. Going to check the good old Sarsaparilla.
Yeah. A little surprised we didn't see the fake flipper, but eh.
And a heart container at Stumpy. Yeah,
Our first bottle.
Yep, B-Torp, and another heart container as well at Sarasa, and he's not dipping Eastern. Interesting.
Considering it's a crystal and we can't complete it yet, I don't disagree with that move.
Yeah, I can see why. All right. I think I know what's happening here. And they're both converging on it. Is Hypecube going to live up to its legacy or its current reputation?
I think it's going to have something good.
Ganon
There's the wrong cane, but we already have the right cane, so it doesn't matter.
20 rupees, heart piece, 10 arrows, 5 rupees. But here's the thing. That blue cane is actually important.
Yeah, especially, we've been saying Turtle Rock a couple times so far.
More importantly, it is the logical access check that we need for Spike Cave. And that is on the table. Although we currently do not have mountain access. It is now in logic once we do.
Right. PinkKittyRose is going to be checking the back of Escape here. Is going to be getting a whole whopping 40 rupees and 3 bombs for her efforts. Gemini getting a little bit of time back because Pink eventually came back there.
Yeah, but Pink's already done most of the dark roll here, so it's really hard to tell which runner's in the lead right now. Both of them have made great progress in both areas they diverged at. So it'll really come down to go mode. It always comes down to go mode. The main difference here, I'd say, is Gemini does have enough health to go to Thieves Town, although he cannot reach it from this side.
Yeah, he's going to have to save and quit. He will be able to check Sick Kid, which is something in his favor, because PinkKittyRose, when she went into the Dark World for the first time, did not have a bottle.
And Pink is actually gonna go check Agina.
Unless this is farming for Zora as well. Well, yeah, with the bush crabs, or I guess the rock crab, we do have Zora money on her side as well.
Yeah, this is Agina. This is one of those out-of-the-way locations that is like the rest, in which it is available to you right from the get-go. This one's also a fair bit safer than Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, but it's also honestly safer to skip than Ice Rod Cave, ironically enough. Because nobody wants to come here unless it's like their last possible opportunity, or they get like the flute or book or something.
I mean, whenever I get an early flute, I tend to check Agina just because it's a quick check from 6.
All right. So what does Sick Kid have for us today? It's just his heart.
Let's not go into detail with that, shall we?
All right, so our runners are going to be crossing each other's paths here for a little bit. Now, the question is whether or not Gemini does go into Thieves Town. He will have, as you said, a bit more HP. And both of our runners... Sorry?
He's got more HP, and also he's got the invincibility item, so he should be very safe for the blind fight. Yeah.
He additionally has a much better option for killing blind, at least in my opinion, in the Cane of Samaria, or will have it once he, gets it. We are seeing Skull Woods first.
I'm a fan of burner strats. I'm sorry. I like that. I just like the concept of just using the shield to essentially, well, for lack of a better term, hug blind to death. Alright, so Skull Woods from Gemini. We have not seen this yet, so it could be interesting.
Yep.
And the compass chest has the compass. Big surprise there.
It looks like neither of our runners are going to be skipping out on the Ice Rod Cave today. Now we will see if Pink Kitty does decide to, do the sequence break up to Zora. I mean, Zora himself isn't a sequence break, but... Nope, never mind.
Nope.
No sequence breaks just yet.
I think both runners fear to see something at Zora Ledge that is going to be required, so they want to have at least the flippers so that it's not only in logic, but they can get everything there in one trip.
Gemini's calling an audible here, not skipping, or sorry, not checking the back of Skull Woods, which I can understand it without a sword to finish the dungeon, but it is a pendant, and you could just find the items you need.
And nothing good in bumper caves. The cape is not required for that. Or not required on this seed.
So do you think PinkKittyRose is going to be heading into Eastern Palace? Or we'll be seeing maybe a Death Mountain check?
I mean, let's consider the items we have right now, and the items we know of. What dungeon is feasible to have progression in it at this point?
Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness, Skullwoods, Thieves Town. I mean, those are the ones that can have progression, and that we can access. I would say any of them are feasible to have progression, is kind of my point.
Yeah, if I had to take one location to check, I'd probably go with Thieves Town, because we can full clear it. It's got a decent item density. And of course, it's a crystal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Honestly, PinkKittyRose wasn't in the area, which is why I might have expected something different. But Gemini being in the Palace of Dark, or not Palace of Darkness, the Thieves Town area right now, like, this is obviously the play for him.
Alright, let's see what's in here. Compass to start us off.
Is this going to be one of those Thieves Town has nothing in the first 4 chest seeds, aka the reason why it's not a good idea to ever just check the first 4 chests?
Oh, we got something, a piece of heart. That puts, I think, Gemini up to 9 hearts there.
PinkKittyRose, again, skipping out on Skull Woods.
I hope Gemini realizes there are bombs in the attic, because he doesn't actually have any right now.
I would be surprised if he doesn't know that. The game, for the most part, has a way of giving you resources where you're most likely to need them. With some exceptions. But, yeah. There's a few bombs under pots, like 4 bombs, I think, upstairs in Thieves Town.
There's at least one in a pot right at the attic. So, in terms of what weapons they can use, they have the Cane of Samari, they have the Cane of Bruna. I believe the Fire Rod works as well, but that's not exactly magic efficient. Hammer also works on blind. Pretty much anything that does fighter sword damage can be used as a weapon against blind. He's one of the easier bosses. And one of the more hectic ones. At the same time. If you follow the script, he does the same thing every single time. If you go off script, he can be quite unpredictable.
Yeah, especially if you take a death from blind, because every time you come back in, blind is going to be off scripts immediately.
Yes, and for those wondering how you get on script, you have to hit him basically as soon as he becomes vulnerable every single time.
Yeah, like at least the first 2 phases are relatively consistent if you do the same thing every time. I mean, the 3rd phase is the same. It's just harder to get into the right position to keep him on script. But if you hit him every single time, like right as he becomes vulnerable with your sword, he's always going to do the exact same thing.
Have they checked the exact same stuff? I believe both runners have checked as much as they can right now. PinkKittyRose has checked Agina over Gemini. But Gemini has at least seen what Bumper Cave has to offer, as well as Dipskull Woods. And there was a little bit of stair sink there, and if I'm not mistaken, our stun price is a big 20.
This is a very rich seed. That was our bush prize as well, or bush crab prize.
And there is an item in the big chest. And we have yet to see that map either. I just realized.
Yeah, so it does mean either this chest or blind will have it, so we do have to check it. I mean, compass was the very first thing we found, so unless we didn't find the small key, we'd have to come here anyway.
And blind has his braille map again. I mean, it's the only reason why he would hold on to the map is because he could feel the ink or something. I don't know. It's even stranger when he has the compass. I mean, how does that work?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Alright, so we're seeing our first blind here. Gemini is going to start it off with hammer strats.
And that was not a hint for the Meyer medallion, folks. That was a pun. Meyer requires ether, quake, or bombos. The pun there being the pronunciation of ether.
So Gemini does have half a magic bar, only 3 hearts. Does need to be a bit careful here. Gets off the Cane of Burna and has magic to spare. So blind goes down pretty quickly.
Yep.
Gives us his lunch / braille map. And don't really know where Gemini's going to go next.
Yeah, we didn't get any progression out of Thieves Town. It was more or less a bust.
He's going to be kicking himself if the progression is in the backside of Skullwoods.
Well, it's only 1 chest. Well, 2 if he hasn't checked the big key chest.
He hasn't.
Pink is doing something a little different here. Oh, Pink is doing Canis Samaria strats.
I love the Canis Samaria strats on blind, because you can hit him with the block as he forms, and then you can hit him again with the fireball.
Very nicely executed. Pink had a little bit of style to this blind fight, if I do say so myself.
So this is a very interesting play by Gemini, opting to go back into Skull Woods after he notably left it behind. I don't know if he was just waiting for a sword or what. And we still have to look even further.
Alright, so the way this is set up in Skull Woods here, I think, is we still have 2 items left and the big key. Gemini can only get 1, and if the big key's in the small chest, then it's in the big chest. The other one will be on the moth.
Yeah, it doesn't look like PinkKittyRose wants to check out Skullwoods at all. Unless that's where she's going right now.
Well, it's Pendant Skullwoods. You don't have a sword to go fight the moth. And nearest the big key.
This is such...
I mean,
such a troll.
I mean, part of me wants to go to Palace of Darkness and just loot around as much as I can. But Palace of Darkness, you can get bow locked. But we do have a bottle for a glitch. And Gemini does die here. That is a death warp, though.
Yep, just a death warp. We're going to be a little bit worse for wear. He was at full HP. And I think it might have taken a little bit longer than just walking out, honestly. But we don't have a potion yet, so we'd have to actually buy one or find another bottle that actually has a potion in it.
Yep. And just a reminder, folks, we do not currently have a sword. There is a vine curtain on the way to the moth that we need to cut, so you cannot fight moths swordless. Unless
you're playing in swordless mode, in which it just simply doesn't exist.
Yes, but this is standard, so we need that sword. Cannot get around that.
Gemini opting to do vanilla strats here to get to the big chest. I like it. Don't have to set up a bomb jump. You can just walk down. You can even hook shot across to the switch. Or not
magic
switch,
powder,
statue.
which you can use to check magic bat. Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be a wild goose chase, isn't it?
I hope. I actually kind of hope so. But at the same time, we need some form of regression. If it's magic powder, that'll be amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
that is also a very, very nice safety item to have.
Yeah. So think of it this way: as we're coming into like the middle of the race, ish. We were talking earlier about how there's one item necessary to unlock so many items up on the mountain. And that is still the case. If I were racing here, I would be thinking, like, the game really wants me to go somewhere really stupid to get either the lamp or the flute, just to get up to the mountain to find my actual progression.
And Pink is walking out. So, does at least recognize that. Pink will be getting the powder. And what does the powder contain? That is the most important. We are cursed with 5 rupees.
5 whole rupees. But yeah, this is where I would start to seriously consider doing some sequence breaking. And it looks like Gemini might be doing just that.
I mean, it's either we had progression Eastern this whole time, or it's in the first chest of pod.
Or it could be deeper in pod. It doesn't have to be Boblocked pod. So...
Well, I can only guarantee 1 item there, to be real.
We can guarantee 0 items. It could be the compass or something.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. They can get 1 chest at the very minimum.
Yep, so Gemini is opting to go up to the mountain here. We'll be getting quite a few items. Whether or not it pays off is another story. And it looks like PinkKittyRose is going to be doing probably the same thing.
Yep, going up the mountain. So both runners are avoiding whatever the logic intends for them at this point. So something to note is if they find a lamp here, or the Titan's Mitt, that's important.
A little bit. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, this sequence break has been pretty tempting for quite some time. I'm honestly surprised neither of them went for it until now.
So that means we have either the flute or the lamp in one of either Eastern or pod, because that's major progression right there.
Yeah, for their sakes, I hope it's the flute. I mean, not the flute, the lamp, because you can safely skip the lamp if you can do dark rooms and you already have the fire rod. Can't necessarily safely skip the flute, but it could be somewhere like Eastern Palace, and maybe the bow is up here on the mountain. Like one of the million chests up here.
I kind of want it to be the flute, not because it's being a troll item, but because it'll get into the runners' heads a bit. Because if it's like, say, like Eastern, when they could have got in it when they were in the area, they're like, I missed this. How much farther is my opponent ahead of me?
I honestly think they might be in their heads already, just from finding the Titan's Mitts at the Old Man, because this has been available to them for quite some time.
Second bottle with a bee in it, as well as the red meringue.
B-Torp is always watching. PinkKittyRose doing the big play, going directly into Spike Cave, a cave that I don't like
10 arrows,
whatsoever.
10 arrows, 3 bombs. Paradox Cave is being a bust right now. There's a sword.
Nice.
And 3 more bombs. So that's where our logical sword was, or at least our first sword that we found. Piece of heart at there, at Spike Cave.
So with that sword, I guess there's still an item left at Mothula. Is that right?
But well, with it being a non-required pendant, when you go back for that, and I just missed the floating island check. That was so quick.
We'll see it on the other side.
And it's true that the sword is not in logic, folks, but we more or less know that the logic is telling us go to Pod or Eastern for some way to get up the mountain.
Alright, our first item here in Hera is just a heart container. Gemini says, nope, we already have 10 hearts in blue mail. That's more than enough. Let's see if we have to get the waiting room, and we do.
Alright, you get a nice little coffee break, perhaps. Gemini might actually take a couple of tiles to the face.
Yeah, I mean, he's already really low on HP. He could even just take a few hits from the Stalfos in a few rooms from now.
Yeah, although that'd be exceptionally risky to use it. Oh, there's the boomerang strats. Very nicely done. Pink also getting that sword in Paradox Cave.
So do you think we're going to be seeing anything else up here on the mountain? Anything important, I mean. I think Gemini actually did go for a coffee break.
As far as items go, we can actually go check Hookshot Cave as well as see what the medallion is for Turtle Rock.
Right.
And actually, we have everything we need to do Turtle Rock right now, except for the lamp.
Oof.
But the lamp is not necessarily required. All it is during the platform maze, where you ride on the Samaria block.
That's not great with this loadout, unless we find a better sword, 2 better swords, let's be real here, or half magic, or maybe just a fluke blue potion bottle. I don't think these runners are going to be able to complete Turtle Rock that easily. At least in this first attempt.
Nope. It would not be easy, but it is doable because they can use the hammer instead. I'm not saying it was a great play, mind you. I'm just saying that it's a possible play. And gets a heart container anyway. That's the second item out of Tower Hera.
I think you'd have to be pretty confident in your play to risk going to Turtle Rock with this loadout. But these runners, I mean, they've proven themselves to be very, very good. So maybe we'll be seeing that very, very shortly.
I would like to call back to one of Pink's Swiss rounds, in which she was one of her first loss in the Swiss. Her opponent actually gambled Turtle Rock really early and found the flute in the first chest.
Oof.
And that led to boots.
I guess one hiccup here is we don't know what the medallion is, so they would have to go and take the portal on top of Turtle Rock, and that would orphan Spiral Cave because we don't have a mirror yet, unless mirror's in Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, but like I said, they can just check Spiral Cave. They can go down. They can at least check the medallion. They don't necessarily have to go in. In fact, if they're not feeling taking the risk, they can just ignore it. And for all we know, Turtle Rock might be required Bombers or Quake. So it's only a 1 in 3 chance right now that they can even enter there in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I want to see PinkKittyRose skip out on the Spiral Cave and then go directly on top of Turtle Rock and see what medallion it is. And if it's Ether, we can just go right inside. After we check, Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave. Let's not be Let's not be rash.
Neither runner does have any potions, no. And I think I see what Gemini's routing is, and that's actually pretty smart.
I mean, this is the safe route.
Well, he's gonna do Super Bunny's hook shot, check Turtle Rock, and then go over to Spike Cave.
Oh, that is true. We do have Spike Cave on the menu.
Yeah, Pink has already done Spike Cave, but Gemini's gonna do it so that he doesn't have to do any save and quit routes while he's over in the mountain, which is smart.
Gemini's saving grace here, I think, to really make this route shine would be if Mirror is on Dark Death Mountain. Maybe not in Spike Cave, but maybe in Hookshot Cave.
Well, we already saw Spike Cave from PinkKittyRose. It was only...
sorry, I meant... Yeah.
And Turtle Rock requires Ether! We can enter it and complete it.
And PinkKittyRose is going over there. So PinkKittyRose is going to be able to go directly into Turtle Rock.
Taking gambles are something you need to take in this trace, I feel. Oh. There's the flippers! Okay! Zorus, finally! Gotta read the check. There's the shield. There's 10 arrows. Hookshot Cave is loaded with good items.
And the flute!
Okay! So, that means that our lamp is an Eastern or Pals of Darkness.
Yeah, or Catfish. Let's not be too rash.
Oh yeah, I guess you could have gone all the way to Catfish.
Or Pyramid, I don't think.
Neither one is in there either, no. Well, Pink will be getting those items. And at least does have Turtle Rock open later. Does not need to go into it now. And I think that's her own saving grace. That'll save her a few seconds later on the road.
Honestly, I would go in. Like...
When she sees that Hookshot Cave, she's gonna leave.
This seed has been screaming Turtle Rock for quite some time. I cannot, in good conscience, advise anybody to skip out on Turtle Rock at this point.
Well, we're gonna see it soon here on Gemini's end. Because Gemini is going to turn in the flute.
Yep, probably going to be seeing Meyer medallion, maybe even going inside.
And Pink is not saving quitting. Pink is going into Turtle Rock. This is going to be huge if there is anything major here, like the bow or the mirror.
Yep, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting in multiple regards. It's going to be interesting to see if there's anything good here. It's also going to be interesting if Pink Kitty can even finish it with this loadout, or if we're going to run into some troubles on Trinex.
Well, she is 13 hearts blue male with the powder.
For me, the question is more magic, because it is kind of difficult to do hammer Trinex with just one magic bar. Gemini is picking up some potions. Maybe he'll be heading up to the mountain right away as well.
And we are here seeing the flute. Gemini is going
to Meyer.
To Meyer.
Now Meyer's another place that's actually very dangerous without like the bow or better than a fighter sword.
I just realized we only need the bow and the mirror for go mode. Pending boots. Bombos, though, is our medallion for Meyer. We'll need that too.
Yeah, don't count out the Meyer shed here. Maybe it has something useful for us.
Nope, nothing good there. And Gemini's gonna nope out.
Starting to look like Turtle Rock was the play.
Well, keep in mind, we have the entirety of Zora's Domain now available to us with those flippers, as well as Ice Palace.
Eesh. You know what? I'd rather just go.
Mirror!
Where's the mirror in Turtle Rock?
Okay, Pink's gamble paid off big time.
Especially if Swamp holds something something important for us, because Pink, if she is able to just finish off Trinex in one go, is just going to be able to go right into Swamp.
That is the edge I think Pink needs right now. Gemini, though, is checking the Zoro's domain. If the Poe is here, when are the runners going to check each other's locations? Bomb booster, 300 rupees. We have had logical access to Zoro since the very start. We had gloves in escape.
This could be interesting. Though I am more interested in that lava chest, which just has a second shield.
Hey, don't dose the fire shield. I like that one.
Yeah, it's gonna especially be nice if we never find the lamp and they're in Misery Mire.
Well, the lamp we know is going to be in Eastern or Pod. We pretty much know that because everything that Pink has gotten is locked behind the lamp. And only 20 rubies at Zoro, so Zoro was actually a bust.
Yeah, and PinkKittyRose with the mirror in hand will also be able to check Mimic Cave here. So, no loose ends.
Gemini is not that far behind, though.
I do like the fact that he's going back up to Turtle Rock. He realized that it's the correct decision. May not be the easy decision. Or the popular decision, but it is the correct one.
And in Mimic Cave, we find the mirror shield.
Oh my goodness. You know, that's really nice, honestly. Seeing that in almost its vanilla location. Essentially a dimension hop away from its vanilla location.
Yep, it's vanilla location right there in that big chest, which just has a piece of heart. And we're up to NMG health, so both runners should feel fairly safe at this point.
Yeah, along with that blue mail. But that magic, man, that's the scary part.
The magic should not be that bad anymore. There is a full decanter right before Trinex. And you only really need 4 shots. So if you're good with hammer stretch, you should be able to get it done relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm. PinkKittyRose showing us one of the easier dark rooms in the game, actually. It's weird. It's easy if you don't mess up. If you mess up, it'll haunt your dreams.
Yes.
And steal your souls. But PinkKittyRose showing no problems there.
Yes. And what she was doing there, she was using the fire bars, actually, to navigate as tells to know when to hold a certain direction. Because she's actually on a rail system that you couldn't see in that room. With a lot of junctions. Same pattern every time. And the 4th chest.
Wow.
Okay, there's not much here in the back half of Turtle Rock.
PinkKittyRose opting to take the safety door, which I like, because if you run out of magic in Trinex and you don't have that safety door, you're kind of boned.
Yeah. The nice thing, though, is that when Pink goes to get the flute online, she can go get the Mire checks done. She can also get everything done in Mire. The checkerboard cave as well as desert.
That is true. And desert, it is a pendant, but it might still have something for us, the bow or bombos we're still looking for, and potentially the boots. And saving some magic here. Pop in the platform before we actually grab the magic decanter.
Yep, that's what I do all the time, actually.
It actually doesn't matter too much if you already are missing a lot of magic, because if you're still regenerating magic, it'll still go up to full. But we are seeing a very nice Trinex fight so far.
Yep.
That's the first head down right away. Blinding speed.
And there's this good hit on the second head.
The second head is what worries me, just because the weird hitbox.
Accidental ice rod shot.
The ice rod should like heal the ice head, and the fire rod should heal the fire head. That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be pretty funny and also really annoying.
Well, yeah.
All right, fire head's down. Pink's out of the hard part of the fight.
Only missed about one hit, so we do have some magic left over.
Yep. Dancing with the snake. 2 hits left. 1 hit left. Done. Very, very well executed Trinex there.
Yeah, that was incredibly good. That boss is deceptive in how hard it is when you're just using the hammer.
And it's mainly because of the knockback the hammer does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a crystal for Pink. Oddly enough, that's only our 3rd crystal, and we are nearly an hour into the seed.
Yep, also nearly in go mode.
That's
Pink
correct.
is...
Was there something on a floating island?
Going to check Spiral Cave.
Oh, right! She didn't do this because of her routing. This is... She did not get punished for her routing choice.
Yeah, like that... I mean, I was just banking on Pink forgetting about that entirely. But, yeah. No stone left unturned here today.
Path Magic is on floating island. Ooh. Pink not opting for that.
Who needs it when you've already killed the boss that actually needs that like it's the most important for?
Well, we still have Cold Stare left. And we don't have Bombos, so we would need a full magic bar for them.
Yeah, but Pink can also now go activate the flute, which is what we're going to be seeing here, and maybe just go and buy some potions. So.
And both runners did skip half magic, but however, Gemini is still in the dungeon. He'll probably pick it up afterwards. Pink apparently did not have the information at all, but shouldn't get punished too hard by it. It's just a safety item in reality.
All right, so we're going to be seeing a bit of old and a bit of new on Pink Kitty's side. We're going to be seeing Myers Shed. Going to learn once more that Bombos is actually necessary to complete the seed, but we will also be able to go into Desert Palace
And Checkerboard
if,
Cave.
Yeah, she wants to, and then also Checkerboard Cave.
Another play that Pink can make is gamble that Bo is in Pod Eastern.
Yep. Swamp also in Logic. I mean, none of this is in Logic yet, but we know the lamp has to be somewhere. We don't actually care where it is.
Yeah, both runners not too shy with the dark rooms. Pink just checking the ledge, then going back into Dark World. And Gemini is on his way to fighting Turtle Rock, or Trinex. I almost call him Turtle Rock, but this is the dungeon, not the boss. Bleh.
I mean, he kind of is. He's like a turtle with a rock shell, so...
Is he a turtle or is he a snake disguised as a turtle?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just throwing a theoretical out.
I don't know Hylian zoology. Anyway, we are seeing something new here in Checkerboard Cave. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing the inside of Desert Palace, or if PinkKittyRose is going to opt to head over to Swamp Palace or Ice Palace. Oh my goodness, it's Bombos. That's...
Bombos was a Checkerboard Cave. That is actually significant. Pink can just go right in now and full clear the dungeon.
Oh, Gemini! I think he messed up. Oh, he does have blue potions. Never mind.
Yeah, Pink, or Gemini rather, does have those blue potions.
He also That damages the Firehead more than I noticed, apparently. But we are going to be seeing Meyer. We can complete it, but with this loadout, it's going to be trouble.
Actually, yeah. With Fighter Sword, I don't think I would go fight Vitreous. I'd at least loot around for the items.
Gemini picking off Trinex's final form pretty easily, so he's all back in sequence, at least in terms of what PinkKittyRose has gotten, and it really just stands to what he does next. The only thing is he's kind of orphaned Checkerboard Cave, though I guess he could still go into Desert Palace.
Very nice work clearing up the Wizrobes here in one of the early Maya rooms.
Alright, Gemini, where do you go next? He is going into Swamp Palace, most likely.
This looks like a swamp, yeah.
And Pink is gonna be able to fully clear Misery Mire. Vitreous is not gonna be a walk in the park.
This is either swamp for Gemini, or this is going to be the pod eastern area, and there's Quake. There's our first time out of Mire. No, this is definitely swamp on Gemini's end.
I'm wondering where the bow is now. It could be practically anywhere. It could even be in Eastern Palace, which is probably the worst place for it.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it was there this entire time. And on the Bowlock side was, of pod was the lamp.
Ugh.
That would have been very trolly, but also somewhat required.
That would be mean.
Oh, we don't know. We won't know for a little while either.
Yep, we're still looking for, I believe, a big key here, as well as, oh, there's our last item.
Piece of heart. So we are looking for the big key.
Are going to be going into the vanilla big key area. It's looking like, oh no, never mind. PinkKittyRose did not check either of these chests yet.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the compass.
Ugh, this is a decision you really don't want to be stuck with, is going to vanilla or walking all the way across the dungeon, getting disappointed, and then walking all the way back.
Well, if it's here, then Pink can travel north. Yeah.
Ah, there we go. We do still need...
Pink is leaving.
Just leaving. Great idea by PinkKittyRose to leave, because...
I think
Vitreous
she is... Yeah, I think she feels she's ill-equipped for Vitreous. Fighter Sword Vitreous in this current loadout is absolutely not a good idea.
A little surprised we didn't see Desert there. But, like, you have 2 full crystal dungeons to complete, and PinkKittyRose also hasn't checked Zora yet, so yeah, I can understand this. But Desert, man, that's gonna haunt you.
Alright, well, we can at least confirm one thing. Pet is dead. In terms of getting all of the items we know we need for go mode.
Yep.
And it's purely because of Palace of Darkness. We know it needs the lamp, it needs the bow.
And Desert Palace... Actually, Desert Palace doesn't necessarily need to be boots blocked.
Yes,
so this is one of those 5% seeds. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right, I forgot about that. So,
Could be Master Boots is what I'm trying to say.
could be Master Boots, but high chance it's not. So, Pet is more or less dead. Pink saving quitting out of Zora. Gemini, meanwhile, I don't think has gotten anything out of value out of Swamp that I can tell.
I mean, it's hard to have anything of value right now. We know Swamp can't have the lamp, So all you really have for us are the boots or the bow.
And I just have a gut instinct that the bow is somewhere in the eastern pod area.
Yeah, PinkKittyRose is going to be following... maybe not. Going to be checking cave south of Haunted Grove first. Maybe heading back into Swamp Palace after that.
Oh, wait, you know what? I think Pink is going around to something different.
You want the dwarves?
Yeah,
chest?
she can do that full loop, and then be right next to Swamp Palace. Wouldn't be too much of a stretch to make a minor detour to check those locations.
Yeah. I mean...
And she also probably wants to avoid this right here on Gemini, the menu boss.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly faster to just use Fire Sword spins, because if you can get double hits with the spins, and make it a lot quicker and less painless. Or sorry, less painful. Looks like we are trying to get double grabs though, at least.
Yeah, this boss is slow because of this. For those wondering, most bosses, with the exception of Blind, and I think also Mothula, are more or less immune to Fighter Sword damage. You can't do anything at all to them with it.
Alright, just a few more hits with the hammer here, and we'll be on to whatever Gemini chooses to do next. PinkKittyRose, on the other hand, has to go through basically the entire... Oh my goodness, the bow!
Okay!
On Argus!
Okay, that means...
Come on, right? No, Bombos.
No, it's going over Pink! It'll be going over Pink!
Yep.
No, wait! Wait! Master! We need the Master Sword!
Yeah, but, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Master Sword's probably in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, probably, but...
It's guaranteed, alright? Not really, though. But you kind of have to play like it is, right? You're not gonna check every chest from here to Timbuktu to try and find that Master Sword when it could very easily be on your critical path already.
And Bo was effectively Internal Rock. That is correct, chat. Because that was where our mirror was. Okay, now I want to see first chest, lamp, and pod. Just to tie the logic together, finally. Fill in that missing link.
It could be an Eastern. I don't... Yeah, Gemini is still looking for Bombos, which is actually terrible for him because he's already been to that area.
Yeah. Bombos is now a one-off check for him. So it's going to be a very long time for him to get there. Pink, meanwhile, does have it. Will be in sort of a Schrodinger's go mode. Cannot go completely skip every chest until she finds Master Sword. But we'll have the means to at least clear every single dungeon. And we are seeing Eastern first from Gemini.
I don't disagree with it. It is a crystal. It will open up the Pyramid Fairy check. But the question is, do you skip out on Pod to go do that?
Well, Pod is a pendant, overall.
Yeah.
But as far as he's concerned, Pod might be in, or Bombos might be inside of Palace of Darkness. And chat's wanting sword on pedestal and the other two on tablets.
That's a little rude.
That is a little rude, I'll admit that. I don't think that the sea would be that evil to them. Also, they're at least guaranteed one other sword, I should add.
I mean, are they?
Oh. It depends on if lamp is blocked by anything that's combat related. Because our first sword was in Paradox Cave, if you recall.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the sword doesn't really block off a whole lot. We did have the hammer for quite some time. And we've already been through all the items in Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. The only other option would be a sword at Mothula, which would be blocked by, I guess, the lamp by logic.
Yeah. And it looks like we had a lamp and pod.
That is interesting. I'm starting to think that it's probably not a bow-blocked Palace of Darkness. And PinkKittyRose is now in Schrodinger's, if that's the proper German pronunciation. I probably butchered it. Go mode.
That is correct. Pink now has every single item she needs to finish the game. Just now needs to defeat Eastern Palace, Ice Palace, and Misery Mire. Although lacks anything beyond Fighter Sword to do so. So, where are you going first, Pink?
Probably be... Oh, looks like we're heading into Eastern Palace first. Now, I'm wondering, if you do Eastern Palace, are you going to check the Pyramid Fairy? And it's a relatively quick check.
I would do that because you can check the pyramid as well, and that might just have a sword on it, and then you'd be just, bam, go. Ideally, she wants to find a sword sooner rather than later. She can go straight to Argus, or Vitreous, rather. I'm getting my eyeball bosses mixed up again.
Yeah, the problem is Ice Palace, most of the chests are out of the way if you're in go mode for Ice Palace. You can check like 3 of them. And even so, you have to spend extra time to check. The first one of them is pretty free. The big chest is there if you find the big key in one of the first 2 chests. And then there's Cold Stare.
We could just have a sword on Gina, for all we know. Molder just could be blocking it through that green pendant.
Alright, so does PinkKittyRose go directly to Armos? And the answer is yes.
And we're seeing Gemini dip Palace of Darkness. If this is the lamp that puts all the logic we know of back in sequence. And there it is.
There it is. And it is bow blocked. So Gemini now has to go through this entire dungeon.
Gemini now also knows that he is completely back in sequence in terms of items. That was the only place that wasn't bow locked. Or, yeah. Everything else that was lamp locked is now there.
Yeah.
So, people are calling for Burn the Witch. Chat, me to remind you, that was the last possible location the lamp could have been, other than deeper in Palace of Darkness.
Or Catfish.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting that Catfish is still in play.
Yeah, some people in chat forget that as well. But looks like PinkKittyRose is going to be finishing up Armos. Messes up the quick kill, unfortunately. Not that it matters a huge deal. We're going to be seeing probably Ice Palace next.
Yeah, Ice Palace, and hopes to find a sword along the way. Most of the combat on the way is easily dealt with. Fire Rod for the Freezors, Hookshot for the Pengators. And she does have a green potion thanks to her trip into Swamp Palace. So doesn't have to worry about her fire rod at work.
Yeah. Also gonna be buying a potion or two in here. I'd honestly buy 2. Looks like that's what we're doing. So yeah, Ice Palace is next, most likely.
Someone is asking, where was Bombos? Bombos was in Checkerboard Cave. Gemini checked the Mire area before Turtle Rock. The mirror that we needed to check Checkerboard Cave was in Turtle Rock's Chain Chomp room. Pink dipped Turtle Rock before going to Mire. Has actually full cleared Mire to the point in which she can just go fight the boss whenever. Ideally wants a second sword.
So Gemini's best case here is finding like 2 or 3 swords here in Palace of Darkness, and maybe even the silver arrows.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because other than that, we're gonna be spending a lot of time in Palace of Darkness for not a huge gain.
Alright, here comes the first set of ping gators. Small key from Palace of Darkness, as well as the Book of Medora. Book of Medora is actually not useful to Gemini right now. Can check the pedestal, but can't even open up the tablets. Because that requires Master Sword.
Yep. PinkKittyRose is opting to check at least some of the chests here in Ice Palace. Did find a key early on, which will make it the right side check pretty quick if she decides to do so, but that's a pretty big if. Just the bug net.
Well, the bug net's actually really good because combined with the powder, you don't have to worry about dying.
It's honestly the wrong kind of safety you want at this point.
Yeah, really. You don't want to see that. And just 20 degrees there. And that means that Helmstar has an item and Gemini's not going to go get it.
That's interesting. I mean, it's a gamble either way.
That means there's not a sword in the Palace of Darkness. So that's actually really good for Pink.
Yeah, and Gemini is heading into Ice Palace. Pink has to make a decision very soon. It looks like she is going to be checking at least some of the right side here.
She's looking for that sword.
I'd like that check. That's a pretty quick one. Just once and done. Just get that chest, which in this case is just a piece of heart, so...
Yep.
Whatever.
Freezer check will probably come next. This
can't check the big chest, unfortunately.
Yeah, no
so
big
Cold
key.
Stare is our last hope, basically.
And I think she's going straight to Cold Stare at this point.
The game was nice enough to put a few small magic pots here, even after you used some of your magic in the freezer room.
Well, she has Bombos. She doesn't have to worry about her magic that much.
Yeah, but
and
you really want to have as much as possible.
Yes, but at the same time, she also has that green potion, if you recall, from Swamp. As well as blue, so plenty of magic to work with. Setting the spin to get them all in the corner. Hammer strats.
Interesting. Switching back to the fire rod to finish off at least some of them. Oh, almost.
And there we go. Very clean. Fighter sword. Cold Stare fight. Cold Stare having another item. So there's a sword here. It's the last item. I think that was our...
It was our second.
Yeah, second item.
So unfortunately for Gemini, unless something great is here in Ice Palace, he's going to spend a lot of time in here looking for something that is just going to elude him.
I just realized we could have had a sword in left side swamp this whole time.
We are going to be seeing a couple chests up here that Pink did not opt to check.
Pink might be going to check desert.
No, we're just going directly into Misery Mire. I think Pink is said enough is enough, and we're just going to assume something is in Ganon's Tower.
That's always a safe bet. But here is the chest Pink did not check. We already saw the big key. There's a Master Sword in the Ice Palace! Oh no!
Oh my... That is huge for Gemini, especially if PinkKittyRose has some difficulties looking for swords. And depending on where the other swords are. Like you said, Left Side Swamp, major candidates, Helmasaur.
Yeah, this is going to be real huge for Pink.
Even tablets.
She has to find another sword in Ganon's Tower to even have a shot. But Gemini might spend a lot of time looking for Bombos. It is literally outside of Misery Mire.
The only thing about that is that Gemini could head over to Desert Palace whenever he wants to, and therefore would have prime opportunity to go visit the Checkerboard Cave.
That's right. So we're seeing Dark Mire.
Yeah, not terrible if you have Fire Shield or Mirror Shield, but still not the easiest thing, this first room. Looks like we got it.
Yep. Did the throw set up. I doubt we'll see a spooking action glitch in the dark.
I like the blue cane usage there to get past the bouncy spike. The plinky dinky, as I've been told.
Alright. I kind of want this race to be a Master Silverless Ganon. But this race might come down to Master versus Tempered at this point.
Alright, so we do have the bow now and sufficient arrows, so Pink will have a relatively easy time with Cold Stay.
Yeah. She'll probably start with bombs, yeah.
Bomb strats, that's interesting.
She wants to deal as much damage to as many of the guys as possible.
We got the NMG strats here. It's like, what, 3 arrows per eye, so I can understand why you'd want to soften it up a bit, but at some point you just gotta say, you know, heck it, and pick the archer class.
One eye is down. Yes, some of the eyes have been softened significantly. Crystal now for Gemini and Ice Palace. One last shot of laser and plenty of arrows to do 8 shots to Vitreous. Vitreous is down, and Ruble.
Yep. So, there are 22 possible locations in Ganon's Tower that could have the big key. So once we actually start the game, in a few seconds, or a few moments, you can get your numbers in chats. And if you are a sub or supporter, aka you've donated 250 bits or more to any of the speed gaming channels, you may potentially get on the leaderboard if you win.
A lot of guesses I see already in chat. But there's the game starting for real.
So what do you think?
You know what? I want to see this. I want to see this just because I want to call this. First chest, big key. Second chest, Master Sword. Let's go.
Wow, that's particularly generous. I want to see big key in it doesn't matter where. Let's just go by location because I care more about the sword right now. I want to see Big Key in vanilla. So let's say, what is that? 15?
Yeah, I'd say that's 15.
Maybe 15. But I want to see Master Sword for PinkKittyRose in the big chest. Oh my god, the silver arrows at Peg.
Oh my goodness, silver arrows. That's another advantage Gemini has, but still needs to find Bombos.
Yeah, I'm thinking I really want to see Ganon's Tower, big chests, have something good for us.
Pink is gonna grab the half magic real quick.
I don't blame her if you're going into Ganon with probably Master Sword, even with 2 blue potions and a green.
And we have a medium chance of there being a sword in there. We know a sword's in Ice Palace. That was the one item Pink missed. We know what the silvers are now. And for both of these runner stakes, I hope it's not a big key on tour scenario. That would be absolutely evil.
There are worse things, honestly. But yeah, that'd be pretty bad. All right, so we are going to be stopping fairly shortly. Looks like everybody's gotten their guesses in anyway. PinkKittyRose is opting to go right or left first, interestingly enough.
First item is the torch, and that's only an arrow booster, and this is sort of a norm for Pink. She does sort of this sort of pseudo dark magician strat. She checks Stalfos first, and then the Hope Room. If Hope Room doesn't have a small key, then she goes back to doing full left. That's sort of been her route that I've noticed.
Okay. It's interesting. We are very key-rich today.
And that's like 3 of the 4 small keys on left side. Almost have a check from Gemini.
Oh my goodness, this seat is not very kind to Gemini right now. And the problem is he's in...
Master Sword for Pink! Master Sword for Pink! There it is! Pink's in a true go mode! Pink's in true go mode at 122.40!
Okay, that's true go mode. We know we don't need the boots. We know we have a sword. Pink is basically stuck with Silverless Ganon, whereas Gemini is not. The only thing is Gemini has one place to go, and it's probably the last place he wants to visit right now.
He's got a few more locations, unfortunately, with that book. Ether. You can dig up the shovel spot. And if this happens to be Boots, he has 2 more locations. Oh, what? I didn't expect that. Okay.
Okay, there's our Boots. That, you know, I kind of wish it was a Ganon's Tower torch big key scenario now, because that would make this race very interesting.
I don't.
But yeah, Pink is just gonna be heading through Ganon's Tower now. I mean, nothing's stopping her. Gemini, unfortunately, keeps getting strung along by the nose with all these minor item pickups.
All right, we're heading to random room. I've lost count because of all the hype.
I believe this is 9 through 13, or 10 through 13. We have not seen this. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah. All right. And Gemini's doing Super Bomb. Gemini could find Tempered, actually, the 4th sword, rather. I almost said Tempered. Well, it is going to be Tempered for him. Yes. PinkKittyRose, unfortunately, without the boots, gets to do this amazing teleport sequence and get 5 extra arrows.
And it's just 20 rupees on the pyramid. What is inside Pyramid Fairy? Kind of interesting to know this. A 5 and the red mail.
Pink might be overshooting this a bit. Nope.
Managed to pull herself out of the pit. And hello, Bob. How's it going? That should let Bob out. 14 is a heart piece, so onward to the Armos Knights.
Now, I'm wondering why Pink opted to not do right side after
checking.
checking.
Oh, Pink has the blue cane equipped. This is going to be fun.
This is especially interesting when you do have the bow and significant amount of arrows.
Well, she wants to save some arrows for the mimics on the way up.
True.
Catfish, just a piece of heart. Small key. Oh, it's right side.
Yeah.
It was right side. 3 small keys in Rando Room should have just screamed, do Dark Magician. This was Dark Magician. Alright, so it's 19, 18, 19, 20, and 21 here in the Compass Room here in just a little bit. 22 is, of course, the infamous Tile Room.
Yeah, unfortunately for Gemini, he's going to be checking
everywhere.
4 locations. I think Gemini is actually set up to do Bonk Rocks and Kingsgrave as well. This is really nice routing, except for the fact that it's not going to have what he's looking for.
Unfortunately, yeah. 5 rupees. 20.
What?
21. It's a Tile Room seed. Of course it is.
Yes. Who would have thought?
Well, let's wait for a little bit here.
You know,
Let's
get a little theory crafting in here. What would have happened if PinkKittyRose didn't find a sword and it was still a Tile Room seed? Do you think PinkKittyRose would have went to the pink chest? Which requires going all the way around once more.
I don't know. There's another hard container, though.
Yeah, the boot's not really doing much for us today.
Yep. Gemini is now heading to Checkerboard Cave, most likely. Unless he's going in a desert. If he goes in a desert, that's just another time sink.
Yeah, but unfortunately, PinkKittyRose is already going to be going upstairs.
Desert check. And keep in mind, Gemini still has the entirety of Mire to do.
Yeah, and it was a relatively trolly spot for the big key.
Yes. He'll at least have tempered, he'll have silvers. But at this point, I think Pink's accumulated just enough of a lead that it doesn't matter that much anymore. Unless she falls.
At least Gemini knows now that... Wait, let me think here. No, I guess it could still be potentially the pedestal for him.
Yeah, it could, unfortunately.
That would be pretty bad. If you went all in on the pedestal dream right now. Especially considering this is green pendant.
And was Boots like that? There's the mushroom! Oh no. He might follow that to, which not check Checkerboard Cave for another couple of moments.
Gemini has been getting jebaited by practically everything in the second half of this seed, unfortunately. PinkKittyRose.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she routed pretty well. But Chad is saying that Shovel was on the lunchbox. That is not correct. That Shovel was on Bombo's tablet. And the other reason Gemini even checked that is because he found the book in Palace of Darkness. Pink has never touched that area. So what were you saying, Rubel?
Oh, I was going to say that really it was just the idea to do Turtle Rock, I think, right when you were first up on the mountain, because PinkKittyRose was able to check Checkerboard Cave immediately after going into Mire for the first time, whereas Gemini has yet to do that because he was able to go to Mire, but he did not have the mirror to do so.
That's right. When Gemini went to the Paradox Cave, Gemini immediately bolted. Pink, on the other hand, opened up Turtle Rock with the full intent of going in, checked the Paradox Cave, had all those items, and instead of following it, stayed up on the mountain and found the mirror. That in turn led her to eventually check Checkerboard Cave, which had our Bombo's tablet.
Yeah. It's always fun to like walk these seeds back in your mind to just see where it went so right or so wrong for each of the runners. And
yes.
this case, it was, I can't see it anything other than that one decision is what gave this massive chasm between Pink and Gemini.
And we already see Pink on the Moldorm floor. I wonder if she'll open up these chests here just to see if she can find a tempered sword.
And Gemini, not falling for any of the seed's tricks anymore, is going to be grabbing Bombos here. Going to be kicking himself for the past about 15 minutes of running around Hyrule.
Actually,
in a...
I just had a thought. Gold's tempered's got to be up here somewhere, doesn't it? It's either here or it's in one of the 2 remaining fetch quests we haven't checked.
Or in Helmasaur.
Oh,
or in Mothula.
Alright, I forgot about those. Alright. Moldorm 2 does not go quietly into the night!
And he even gets into rage mode, unfortunately, but PinkKittyRose, using some spam strats, able to keep from falling off.
And what is Moldorm's last possession?
Of course!
The one arrow that, if it had a silver tip, would be used to finish Ganon off.
So yeah, this seed, it was a good seed. 10 out of 10. Would see it again.
Yeah, this is a great one. All right, geometry boss for Pink. Nice triple.
Yeah. Also set up for another one, except of course, Aga has to do the annoying thing. It looks like the first hit didn't count as a triple, or maybe the second one didn't count as a double.
Might have been a one there, but with PinkKittyRose defeating Aga 2, it is now time to fight the pig. Master Sword Silverless, the hardest way you can do this fight. 12 spins, specifically spins, in the first 2 phases. 4 more in phase 3 to advance to phase 4.
Yeah.
And then comes the hardest part of the fight, the Silverless strat. You will need 24 spins on Big Bad Ganon when the lights are on as he's teleporting.
I have seen some insane strats for low percent Ganon. It's like 1 cycle for each phase strats. It'd be interesting to see if Pink pulls anything off like that today.
Uses a ricochet off of the sphere to get another double hit.
That's a really good spot. Although we are going to get bodied by a trident.
Yeah. Pink does have potions. She can even go a little bit crazy here with the green potion. She wants to stay invincible.
Making the good play of switching to the cape instead of immediately going for the blue potion, because now I believe we can just trigger the third phase. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nah.
Alright, not quite there, but does have just enough magic to make this work.
Yeah, Pink is gonna hold on to the top wall here.
Yep. Gonna conserve magic that way. Ganon does not decide to teleport. Turns off the cape. Alright. The hard part of the fight's over.
Yep. Should probably get out that blue potion pretty soon. And just chug it. Because you're going to be in for a long final phase.
Yes. Oh, she doesn't have the lamp. This is going to be really hard.
Oh, no. Lampless. No, no torch glitch.
Okay.
This could be interesting.
She has 2 more refills, so 2 hits a phase. Essentially 8 casts worth of magic.
The most you're gonna get is 3 spin attacks per lamp cycle. So it's definitely doable. It's just not easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be very easy. But it has plenty of magic. Not even going to try for that third one. It is spacing out it very nicely.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be too big of a deal if this keeps up. You just need to, 24 shots without missing, basically.
Yeah, and again, does have the blue, does have the green. Plenty of extra magic to work with. And is taking her time, not overstepping her bounds.
I do like the fact that she's playing it cool and not trying to go crazy. Just allowing for Ganon to teleport up and all the way back down before she initiates the next torch cycle.
And this is going to be just the last little bit of magic here.
Yep, 2 more potions. So we should be fine. As long as Pink Kitty does not run out of floor.
Alright. Another hit. Again, it's almost done. Nice job luring the bats. Beatrice is down for Gemini. She could tell she needed that half match for this.
Yeah.
There she goes! GG's to PinkKittyRose, your winner of this best of 3. She will be moving on to the top 32. And Rubel, what is her official SRTV time? I don't actually have that up.
We have PinkKittyRose finishing with an official speed racing TV time of 1:38.29.
Very respectable time. And Gemini seems to have stopped moving.
Yep. Unfortunately, Gemini does not want to go all the way through Ganon's Tower. After that, I don't blame him.
All right, and they are both ready for an interview. Let's get them in here, shall we? Welcome to your both. Good race. The main deciding factor was the mirror. Congratulations, PinkKittyRose. That mirror play in Eternal Rock gave you this win.
I spent about 40 minutes of that race being nervous as all hell from running around with the dinkiest little sword I possibly could, and realizing how much time could be saved with any sword at all showing up.
Well, here's the good news. We actually did find another sword. We also found the lamp and the silvers. The lamp was obviously in the first chest of Pod, because that's where it had to be. The second sword was in the one chest, the one item you missed in Ice Palace. It was actually in the big key chest.
Gross, I'm happy I didn't go all the way over there for that.
And the silver arrows were in the hammer pegs.
I thought about going to Smith Loop before going to Swamp Palace, so that could have helped, but no.
Yes. And Gemini, you put up a very strong effort. Unfortunately, that Bombos tablet, or that Bombos medallion, messed you up pretty horribly. But you did put
it
up...
was purely the mirror decision, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, because we were pretty much, like we even discussed, we even both did Skull Woods up to getting the powder, and both decided to Secrets Break Death Mountain at one point. So it's like, that was probably the main point where we finally deviated a bit.
Well, Gemini did at least dodge a bullet. This seed was a Tower Room seed, unfortunately.
Yay. All 22 chests and got a Tower Basement! The god play would have been just going right and then staying right and just doing Tile Room, because then he would have gotten a sword and the big key, and he could have just left the rest, but I mean, who does that?
And we don't know where that fourth sword is either. There was one in GT. There was one at Ice Rod. Ice Palace.
Gotta go fast, boy runs again. I am kind of disappointed though, because it's like Gemini and our two races we did on Saturday were both so close. And this is the second time now where Game 3 ended up being a little bit of an anticlimax due to some like trolling here and there. It's just like, come on! We want it to be exciting for you guys! Like neck and neck, battle to the death!
We were, in all honesty, we were expecting it too. But still, this entire series was really great. Gemini, your road during the tournament's here, but you can't be mad at your performance.
No, not at all.
This was just one seed that kind of caught you off guard.
To be honest, it wasn't even the seeds. It was just how I approached it. I think I'm really not sure about that mirror play, to be honest. I feel like Turtle Rock first. I don't know. I really value the medallion check on Meyer just to see like how many items I'm away from go mode. Like that's the only reason I went there.
Yeah, I missed what was at the witch or the mushroom. What was that?
I didn't even check.
Hmm?
Oh yeah, I found the mushroom.
It was Couch Cash?
Oh, I'm remembering my earlier seed. Never mind. I'm confusing the seeds! They're crossing!
Oh, so, I guess the fourth sword was either on Helmazor King or... Actually, it was probably on Moth.
That'd be so rude.
Well, Moth was the easiest one to find.
That'd be so rude, because you need a sword to get there in the first place.
There's also the GT big chest.
True,
oh, yeah.
True.
We never did check that.
I'm not going to go all the way back down to check that.
But yes, Fang. Once again, congratulations. You're moving on the top 32. And if I checked the challenge correctly, you're facing Willard and... How do I pronounce that name? You're facing whoever's winning that match, regardless.
Alright, I have officially made it further than I was anticipating. Well, I already didn't anticipate to make it to bracket phase, and now here I am going further than in my own bracket predictions, so... I don't really care where I lose at this point! I'm just gonna keep going, I guess!
Always a great mentality to have.
It's like I've already exceeded expectations, there's only up from here!
And yes, I checked. It is... You will be fighting the winner of Willard J. Bradley and Aurorius 13. Their set has yet to be started here, according to challenge. So, you excited to fight either one of them?
Between the two of them, my predictions have Willard winning that matchup. It'd be fun to face them both. The big thing is I think both of those people are finally an opponent that routes a bit differently than me. Both Cindy and Gemini here have the same tendency to make the same sort of risks, to do the same sort of plays, and it's made for very interesting races, to say the least. So maybe those ones will be a little bit more, like, deviated, because it was really fun. Like, Gemini, seriously, I'm happy I get to face off against you, because it's nice to face somebody who's, like, similar of mind, who's similar of execution as well, because it's so tense!
It was actually really interesting because no matter what item I found, no matter what, like, cheats or progression or, like, some kind of just sneaky way of getting through the seed that I found, no matter what I do, I don't feel like I'm ahead because I feel like you're going to do the exact same sneaky things.
I know, right? And sometimes it works out so well, but other times we get completely destroyed. It's
like in this seed, I felt like boots were the only thing that I found that I felt like would have put me ahead. If I was going to win this race, it would have been like off boots. And I thought like, you know what, if I find bombos through these boots, I'm pretty sure like you're already on top of it as well.
Yeah, because you would have bottlenecked me over there eventually. Eventually.
Okay, so I guess like final thoughts on the tournament, Gemini, and you know, whether or not you think you're going to be returning for any future tournaments? Any thoughts on that?
I guess it depends what it is. If the next tournament's going to be that Super Metroid thing, then I don't know. I
believe we usually have a fall open tournament. We at least had one last season.
Oh, we get to go back to open. Yeah, sounds interesting. I mean, this was my first tournament, so I'm willing to try it again.
Always good mentality to have.
Cool. Yeah, it's good to see newer faces too coming in. We were marking earlier about how, you know, I don't think either of you have been in previous Link to the Past randomizer tournaments, and look at you now, you know, top 64.
Well, I joined the community pretty much just as the last one was underway.
Yeah, I was most of the way through when I started as well, because it was September when I started playing casually, and then I did my first race on Christmas Eve of last year, because the festive mode just tickled me enough to give it a shot.
Actually, I guess there was the Q70 tournament. Kind of forgot about that. Maybe I wanted to wipe it from my memory.
I can understand.
A noble goal.
All right, so any final thoughts of the seed as a whole from you two?
Nah, I mean, like I said earlier, the seed itself wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was interesting to find myths in the exact same location that we found it in our last seed. But other than that, it was fairly standard.
Yeah, I was mentioning to Gemini how apparently the old man must have been a personal trainer when he was younger, because he really knows how to get us lifting.
All right, well, that's going to do us for us here. Well, let me go ahead and inform you of some other Link to the Past randomizer races. Going on right now, we have Chisame and Christos Owen over on Speed Gaming the First. And later on that very same channel, we will have Zelda Ganon and Couch23 going off. And we have one more match scheduled tonight at 9. We have Jay Coast versus Jay Misher. That'll be on Speed Gaming 3. So yeah, so you got plenty of random here for the late night. Make sure to also give these two runners a follow, putting on a very excellent series for us. We didn't get to see the first two games, but this third one, very nicely done. And also, make sure to give our tracker, Hansen, a follow. He did a very excellent job getting all the items checked. Also, Rubel, excellent co-com, or make sure to give him a follow. And while you're doing all that, we are on Speed Gaming too. Make sure to give this channel here a follow, along with Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if that's not enough Link to the Past randomizer for you, we have our own set of channels, a total of 5 now. A Link to the Past randomizer and a Link to the Past randomizer 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also, here on Speed Gaming, we're actually starting to do foreign language restreams, if I recall right.
You are correct. I don't know a whole lot about them, but
I don't know a lot about them either. English is my only
they're
language.
happening.
Yes.
I believe it's German, French, and Spanish, right?
Yes. So that'll do it for all from us here. I don't know what's next on Speed Gaming for you guys here on Speed Gaming 2, but whatever it is, should be a great watch. But from all of us here at the Link's Advanced Randomizer, I've been WolfLinks0370. We shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
Can I have a sword next time?